County. Authorities say around 11:15 Sunday night, more than 24 Canadian Pacific train cars derailed. You see the damage there on your screen, spilling hazardous materials including liquid asphalt and ethylene glycol, better known as antifreeze.
Canadian Pacific officials say their preliminary investigation shows a broken rail caused that crash, but they say despite the spill, there are no signs of any environmental impacts at this time, which is a relief to the locals.
I've talked to the people as far as the railroad, as far as cleanup and stuff like that, and there will be environmental testing and issues like that going forward throughout the rest of the year. We have to make sure we work with the railroad that the heavy traffic that's going down our roads at this vulnerable time with some thawing, that make sure that the roads are put back in place too.
No one was hurt in that derailment. The cleanup and recovery efforts are expected to take 7 to 10 days.
A 22-year-old man, Yorel Taylor, was arrested after police say they found him threatening a woman with a gun inside a South Fargo home. It happened on March 21st. Fargo police say they entered the home when they heard Taylor and the victim yelling inside. They say at first Taylor ran to another bedroom, but then quickly complied with officers' command.
Taylor has no permanent address. He was arrested for felonious restraint, terrorizing, firearm possession by a felon, possession of marijuana, and an outstanding warrant from another agency.
Local breaking news into our newsroom this morning. Fire crews rushed to a furnace fire in Grand Forks early this morning. It was around 3:45 a.m. in the 4300 block of 24th Avenue North.
When firefighters arrived, they say large amounts of smoke could be seen coming from the roof. That fire was contained to the furnace. No one was hurt, and there was no damage estimate at this time.
Time now for a look at our fast track forecast as we join meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm tracking snow moving through the valley this morning. Some of us picking up a quick couple of inches. I just checked the Harvey area in eastern North Dakota, reported 2 inches of snow there, and we may see more of those reports coming in as the morning goes on. So let's zoom in on this area of snow. Some heavier snowfall rates expected here in these places where we're seeing some deeper blue, and that includes places like Steele County, the Hope area, getting some of that heavier snow. Back over into western Cass at this point and stretching back into Tower City and right around Valley City and points east is where we're seeing that heavier snow showing on the radar. Other places seeing some snow surrounding that too. And Fargo-Moorhead, it's just now moving into the metro. So watching out for that snow to come down here any moment now, and we might be seeing some flakes, even if it's not showing very well on our sky cam here. In the distance, you can see the visibility is down slightly. So there's that snow coming this way. So that's going to have some impact on that morning drive. Unfortunately, it's right as things are getting more and more busy. We're looking at about 4 degrees in Fargo. It's cold out there too for the kids out at the bus stop. And in Moorhead, we're at 0 degrees. It feels like 10 below when we factor in that wind out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour. Grand Forks, we've been getting some steady snow in the Grand Cities here. This is our view from the East Grand Forks side of the Red River. You can see visibility down a bit here with the light snow that's still coming down in that area. 5 degrees right now. Wind out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour, and it does feel more like 8 below, with snow being reported at the airport west of town. So here's a look at the latest visibility reports. We are seeing that snow move into Minnesota. Places like Thief River Falls, Crookston reporting lowered visibility in those spots. Cooperstown down to less than a mile visibility. A lot of places in that 1 to 2 mile range where we've got that falling snow, including in Grand Forks. In Valley City, not so bad, but eventually that snow will affect those places in Cass County and Fargo, with the visibility at the bottom of the hour still being reported at 10 miles. Oaks, though, at less than a mile visibility. And so out at the bus stop this morning, the kids will need to be ready for some snow, and heading home from school and for recess, they'll want their snow boots because maybe about an inch to 2 inches of snow possible with this one. Maybe even some areas where we see that heavier snowfall rate could get up to about 3 inches of snow with this. So that's going to impact conditions out on the roads. Tomorrow, just plain cold in the wake of this. We'll also have to watch out for some blowing snow, I should mention, later this afternoon. And then Thursday is that next system. We warm up a little bit, but it comes with that snow threat for both Thursday and Friday. And we keep things cool heading into April.
All right, a lot to be mindful of as we brace for another round of winter. Thank you so much for the updates this morning, Lisa. Let's go ahead and check in with Jordan and our road report this morning. Hi.
Yeah, good morning. You got to watch out for where that snow is coming down, as Lisa was mentioning, showing up on our NDDOT maps right here. I am zoomed in on the northeastern portion of the state of North Dakota. Grand Forks is right where my hand is. So going north of that on I-29, we have full snow coverage on that. Highway 2 going over to Devil's Lake, we also have full snow coverage. And as you see, everything right here is this purple color. That means full snow snow coverage on the road. So from Rolla all the way over to Cavalier, and then to the south this morning, it continues along even down to Hillsborough, Cooperstown, Carrington on the more southern end of it. And now as that system moves in, like Lisa mentioned, Jamestown, Valley City, starting to see some snow on the roads around there. In the Fargo metro area right now, they are still reporting seasonal conditions on the roads. However, that can change very quickly. And then as we head to the south of that, in Richland County this morning, and then in parts of Ransom and Sargent County this morning, they're dealing with icy road conditions out there. So around Wahpeton over to Foreman and then Ellendale up to Lemoore, they're dealing with some ice on the road there. And even though Fargo, West Fargo right now is showing seasonal conditions, doesn't mean it's great out there. It's cold. We know it can still be very slick. Over on the Minnesota side, pretty good there. Everything is looking green on our map this morning. That means seasonal. Northern Canadian border all the way down this morning into Lakes Country of Minnesota. Seasonal conditions there. But you can stay up to date on these all day long by downloading the VNL weather app and then clicking on the road report tile. Ashlyn?
All right, thank you, Jordan, for that real-time check-in. The Fargo Police Academy welcomes recruits to train to become police officers twice a year as its next academy begins in May. It's a 13-week program where recruits will get extensive field training, and the department is now gearing up for its next round. That's where we find the Valley Today's Nishay Taylor live this morning at FPD headquarters, getting a first-hand look inside the police academy. We're going to switch from our live shot, a live look at our region this morning, and try to check in with Nishay. Oh no, it looks like we may.
All right, I guess I'm up now. Yeah, we're right here at the Fargo Police Headquarters, and we are going to talk about the Academy Ride-Along. Joining me is Officer John. Thank you so much, Officer John, for joining me this morning. Tell us a little bit about what the Academy Ride-Along is.
Sure. So a part of the Academy is obviously familiarization with both the squad car and routine patrol life. And so our Academy students are assigned 3 ride-alongs throughout the Academy. During those ride-alongs, they are assigned, a task to complete. One of those tasks is a report. They take a real-life incident that they've experienced on patrol, and then they come back later and write a report detailing that incident. So it's a very involving process. We want them to experience much more than just the classroom.
Okay, and I was just thinking that, I'm a firm believer of you don't really know what you're doing until you're actually physically doing it. So talk about why it's so important to actually do what you just explained.
Sure. So part of the reason why we do this is so that they can see the things that we're talking about in the classroom in a real life situation. You can train in a training environment all you want, but until you see that out in real life, it's hard to draw those parallels. So it's very important to get that involvement and that participation.
Okay, just a fun question. Talk about what the experience is like to just cruise around town until, you guys have some activity going.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the biggest things for me that I realized when I started patrol was that when you see a police car, oftentimes you think, oh man, they're going to pull me over. 9 times out of 10, we're going somewhere. We're doing something. And so we're always going places. There's always something to do. It's one of the fun parts about the job is I get to make my own schedule. I go out and do my thing. As long as I'm taking my calls, I can go do what I'd like to do.
Well, check that out. Make your own schedule.
That's
that
right.
Sounds like a great plan. And I make my own schedule. That'd be nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Officer John. Really appreciate the information you just shared with us. Reporting live in Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Wow, I'm so glad we were able to get our shot cleared up. Incredible information, and it's been nice to see you. I think you're going to shape up to be a great recruit, Nishay.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I think we could have Sergeant Nishay Taylor roaming the streets here.
Ooh, I like the ring to it.
Yeah, watch out. She's going to kick some butt.
Oh, that has a ring to it.
It does. It does. Uh-oh.
Yeah, all right. She'll sign up for the next academy. Anyway, yeah. Nishay reporting live this morning. So glad we could reconnect with you. Yes. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us here on the Valley Today this morning. Right now we are having an update on a multi-vehicle crash that happened just northeast of Wadena. One person has died. They're from Motley, Minnesota. It's a woman. You can find those details on our VNL News app.